Beneath Antarctic seas, the colossal squid remains known mostly through bodies hauled unexpectedly from darkness. Its mystery begins with scarcity because scientists have examined only a small number of substantial specimens. Each arrival replaces imagination with tissue, measurements, scars, stomach contents, and structures preserved from depth. The animal is Mesonychoteuthis hamiltoni, a real squid whose living routine has never been directly documented. Most encounters involve fishing gear, damaged remains, or predators carrying traces of an unseen struggle. No film yet follows a healthy adult moving freely through its ordinary deep Antarctic habitat. That absence turns every specimen into a narrow window rather than a complete biography. The largest recovered bodies reveal immense mass, but damaged tentacles complicate confident estimates of total length. Unlike elongated giant squid, this species combines a broad mantle with unusually heavy, muscular construction. Its arms and tentacles bear swiveling hooks, evidence of gripping prey rather than ornaments of myth. Large eyes dominate photographs, yet their exact performance can only be inferred from anatomy and light conditions. If you picture a monster chasing ships, the verified evidence immediately points somewhere quieter and colder. This investigation follows what actual remains support, what predator evidence suggests, and what still escapes observation. Every conclusion must pass through the same bottleneck. Very few animals recovered under abnormal circumstances. The opening image is therefore not an attack, but a silent body rising from Antarctic water. The species occupies Southern Ocean food webs, where cold water extends from productive surfaces into profound darkness. Records indicate a range associated with Antarctic and subantarctic waters, although sampling effort remains uneven. Juveniles occur nearer upper waters, while larger individuals are generally associated with greater depths. Ontogenetic descent is a mainstream interpretation, supported by capture patterns, but not continuous tracking of individuals. Cold water slows many biological processes and carries more dissolved oxygen than equally salty warm water. The squid's gelatinous tissues and ammonium-rich fluids help reduce the energetic cost of supporting a massive body. That buoyancy strategy differs from gas-filled flotation and suits an animal exposed to substantial pressure. Recovered females have greatly exceeded males in body mass, indicating pronounced sexual size difference. Scientists remain cautious because capture bias may favor particular sizes, depths, seasons, or sexes. The mantle encloses powerful organs, while broad fins can provide controlled movement without constant high-speed swimming. Its two feeding tentacles terminate in clubs, armed with hooks that can rotate within muscular sockets. Many arm suckers also carry toothed rings, producing a secure hold on slippery prey. These structures document capacity, but they do not reveal how often each hunting maneuver occurs. Beaks recovered from predator. Stomachs provide another verified source of information about abundance and distribution. Sperm whales consume colossal squid, leaving resistant beaks after softer tissues are digested. Circular scars on whale skin are consistent with sucker contact, though individual scars cannot identify every squid species. Patagonian toothfish have been found in colossal squid stomachs, directly establishing at least part of the diet. The eyes rank among the largest known in living animals, a finding confirmed by recovered specimens. Large pupils should gather scarce light, especially the blue flashes produced by disturbed bioluminescent organisms. One influential hypothesis proposes that such eyes help detect approaching sperm whales through displaced glowing plankton. That idea fits optical modeling, yet free-swimming observations are required to test actual detection behavior. Verified anatomy has now defined the puzzle more sharply than any legend ever could. The central question is how a buoyant, hook-bearing squid uses limited energy in a cold, dim world. Muscle chemistry suggests it may not be built for prolonged, exceptionally fast pursuit. Researchers, therefore, often interpret it as an ambush or short-burst predator, rather than a tireless chaser. A passing fish could provide a cue, triggering a tentacle strike, hook engagement, and energy-rich capture. This sequence follows functional anatomy, but no camera has recorded it in a wild adult. The squid's broad fins may hold position or adjust orientation before a brief attack. If prey escapes the initial grasp, sustained pursuit could be costly for a neutrally buoyant animal. Stomach remains verify consumption, not the depth, speed, or visual cue that began the encounter. Hook wear and healed injuries might preserve behavioral history, although their causes require careful comparison. The scarcity of intact animals creates another limitation because nets can tear tentacles and distort soft tissues. Measurements taken after freezing or preservation may also differ from dimensions in a living squid. Claims about maximum size must therefore separate measured mass from reconstructed length and unsupported extrapolation. The heaviest well-documented specimen was a mature female, but one animal cannot define the species limit. You can see its hooks and eyes clearly, while its ordinary posture remains almost completely unknown. Age estimation is difficult because reliable growth markers and validated rates remain limited. Without known ages, researchers cannot securely calculate lifespan, growth speed, or reproductive timing. Reproductive anatomy shows that females produce many eggs, yet spawning behavior and nursery locations remain unseen. The much smaller male transfers sperm packages, but direct mating observations do not exist. Egg development has not been followed through the species' complete natural cycle. Consequently, population turnover cannot be reconstructed from specimen counts alone. Distribution maps also reflect where vessels fish, whales strand, and researchers sample. An apparent hotspot can represent animal density, human effort, or both at once. Deep cameras might capture movement, although illumination and bait can change the scene being observed. Each method narrows uncertainty, but none converts an ambiguous contact into a verified encounter. The specimens still reveal an animal deeply integrated into Southern Ocean ecology. By eating large fish, colossal squid transfer energy from midwater prey into their own substantial bodies. When sperm whales consume them, that energy moves upward to a diving mammal, and eventually through nutrient cycles. A whale descends after acoustic cues from prey fields, searches darkness, captures squid, and resurfaces to breathe. That cue-action-consequence chain is documented broadly for sperm whales, though the precise encounter remains hidden. For the squid, dim flashes may signal danger, prompting orientation, fin movement, or defensive gripping. Its hooks can wound an attacker, but scars do not prove that every encounter becomes a prolonged battle. Young squid nearer productive layers may encounter different prey and predators than adults living deeper. As growth increases mass, descending could reduce competition while opening access to toothfish and other deep prey. This proposed life stage shift connects capture patterns to ecology, yet individual journeys remain untracked. Warming and changing sea ice could alter prey fields across the Southern Ocean. Ocean acidification may also reshape food webs, though direct effects on this squid remain poorly measured. Fishery interactions matter because long lines sometimes bring specimens or fragments to the surface. Those captures supply evidence, while also showing overlap between human extraction and an elusive predator. Careful reporting of depth, location, condition, and gear can make each accidental encounter scientifically valuable. Museum preservation allows later investigators to revisit tissues, with methods unavailable when collection occurred. Preserved tissues can clarify population connections without claiming behaviors that biological similarity cannot show. Internal tissues may retain habitat history, although interpretation depends on environment and individual condition. If you descend conceptually with the evidence, certainty becomes thinner as the water grows darker. Yet the animal is not unknowable. It is simply difficult to observe without altering its world. Future progress depends on linking intact specimens, environmental traces, and unambiguous imagery from appropriate depths. Pressure-tolerant cameras could wait quietly near natural prey fields instead of relying solely on bait. Low-light systems would reduce disturbance while preserving the faint cues that may guide both predator and prey. Repeated surveys across seasons could distinguish permanent habitat from brief movement through sampled waters. Whale diving records might identify likely encounter zones, although they describe predators rather than squid directly. Fresh specimens should be measured before preservation changes soft dimensions and internal fluids. Standardized necropsies could compare stomachs, reproductive condition, injuries, and tissue chemistry across rare recoveries. A living observation must show diagnostic features clearly before behavior can be assigned to Mesonychoteuthis, hamiltoni. Even then, one filmed action would demonstrate possibility, not universal routine. Several observations across sizes and conditions would be needed to test the ambush hypothesis robustly. Direct footage of feeding could connect visual cue, tentacle extension, hook rotation, prey restraint, and recovery. Embryos or juveniles collected with environmental context could illuminate the hidden beginning of the life cycle. Long-term records could reveal whether changing Antarctic conditions shift encounters, growth, or distribution. Public fascination can support that work when spectacle remains separated from evidence. You may one day watch this squid alive, but the first images will still require disciplined interpretation. Until then, hooks establish capture equipment, stomachs establish meals, and Beaks establish importance to whales. The unknowns remain movement, courtship, spawning, lifespan, population size, and the full sequence of a hunt. That honest boundary makes the few specimens more valuable, not less extraordinary. The body rising from Antarctic darkness is no solved monster, but a measured beginning to an unfinished natural history.